Remember when Mercedes boasted that they would stop producing gasoline-powered vehicles by 2030? Guess what? They have backtracked on that promise and have shocked the world by announcing they are giving up on EVs instead. This bombshell news straight out of Germany has rocked the market to the core and has proven once again that the EV industry is crashing. And trust us when we say it is crashing hard. Confused why a large corporation like Mercedes is suddenly altering their future plans? Hang tight, we'll explain everything. In a market shift that has caught many major players off guard, EV sales have started going down the drain, dropping by 30% during the last year alone. In Mercedes' own words, the market has become brutal, with new players entering the game and constant supply chain issues, which has made the company get cold feet on their initial promise of an all-electric future. The move has proved the doubters wrong, who were arguing that going electric by 2030 was not even on Mercedes' radar up until a few years ago, when governments across the world started buying into the dream of a utopian future where self-driving EVs would take you anywhere with the push of a button. But now they have started to realize the mistakes, as shoving EVs down the throats of buyers has backfired in a spectacular way. According to the 2023 earnings reports presented to stakeholders, EVs only made up for 11% of Mercedes sales during this past year, but they can't wash their hands by saying the government did it. There have been some inherent flaws with the first crop of Mercedes EVs to hit the market, with 143 EQS 53, EQS 450, and EQS 500 models from the 2021 and 2022 model years being recalled due to a risk of power failure while on the road. Mercedes have traced this to a software issue, and the owners have been instructed to bring their electric sedans to their nearest authorized Mercedes-Benz dealership for the issue to be fixed as soon as possible. This is far from the only fault with Mercedes' flagship electric sedan, as roughly 28% of owners have reported some sort of electrical fault with their cars in just the first year of ownership. The EQS line has been criticized since its introduction for poor reliability, bad performance, and quality control issues all around, which has left a bad taste in the mouths of fans around the globe. The added pressure from the market and failing EQ line of cars are just the tip of the iceberg that has made Mercedes-Benz rethink their strategies going forward, with their CEO now announcing that only half of their lineup will be either electric-powered or have a hybrid powertrain come 2030. Ola Källenius also let the world know that EVs will remain expensive compared to their gasoline-powered counterparts for years to come, a view also shared by some other top-ranking automotive executives, including GM CEO Mary Barra. They share the opinion that making EVs accessible and affordable for the general public will take around a decade more, but it is up in the air whether the industry would even survive for that period in the first place. Mercedes-Benz is far from the only brand that regrets betting on an all-electric lineup. Across the pond, decreasing demand has led both General Motors and Ford to take drastic actions to keep their reputation afloat. GM had to reduce the price of their brand-spanking new Chevy Blazer EV after software bugs tanked sales following the model's introduction, but sales have unsurprisingly been slower than expected. The Blazer EV first went on sale in the August of 2023, priced at around $58,000, but after constant issues with the infotainment and charging systems of early examples, sales were stopped in early December. It took GM an embarrassing 11 weeks to address the issue and restart sales, with the MSRP now being lowered to just $50,195. Things aren't better on the Blue Oval Company side either, as Ford has also been forced to cut down the price of their controversial Mustang Mach-E crossover by nearly $10,000 due to poor demand. Perhaps the biggest surprise in the Ford camp is the poor demand for the F-150 Lightning EV pickup truck. Imagine that, a pickup truck struggling to find a home in 2024. Industry juggernauts Tesla have also felt the impact of the industry's downfall. Although the Silicon Valley-based company enjoyed record profits in the fourth quarter of 2023, the profit from sales has slumped due to them being forced to slash the prices of two of their best-selling models in the Chinese market, the Model Y crossover and the Model 3 sedan. The reason? Increasing competition from China's homegrown automakers like BYD, but we'll talk more about them later on. Honda is another major player who has abandoned their plans of building millions of EVs, as they have given up their proposed $5 billion joint venture with General Motors to produce affordable electric vehicles for North America by 2027. The plans to build the EVs upon GM's new Ultium battery technology were first announced in early 2020, but higher-ups at both companies have now confirmed that the partnership has been permanently put on hold. The only good thing to come out of this odd marriage was the all-electric Honda Prologue SUV, the Japanese company's first mass-market EV designed specifically for the United States. But if we were Honda, we wouldn't put all our eggs in this basket, especially considering that EV sales are nosediving all over the world. The downfall of the industry has not been kind to new startups like Rivian and Lucid as well, as both companies have silently cut down on production due to poor demand. Rivian, for example, hasn't exactly been blowing trumpets about its revised production goals. In February, the company quietly announced that 10% of its workforce would be let go in a move that has shocked the industry, given the company's popularity, which skyrocketed following the release of the R1T pickup and the R1S SUV. The layoffs come alongside a significantly downgraded production target for 2024, 57,000 vehicles now compared to the initial and frankly optimistic estimate of 80,000 units. It's a clear sign that Rivian is putting on the brakes for the moment, trying to align its production according to the reality of the current market. Lucid, on the other hand, had their production forecast set at 10,000 units of their flagship Air sedan last year, but come the end of 2023, only 8,428 examples of the luxury cruiser had left production. 18% of their workforce was also let go, and given that even the major players of the segment are struggling like this, it is no wonder that Mercedes-Benz is giving up the ghost on their EV fever dream. Considering all these struggles faced by other automakers, we think it's justified that Mercedes is addressing the concerns surrounding their Ambition 2039 plan. Although their CEO notes that they'll still be going ahead with the goal to increase the share of recycled materials across their lineup to an average of 40%, they won't be pushing as hard to convert half of the lineup to electric power by 2030. However, one of Mercedes' biggest rivals that bucked the EV trend early has banked on another alternative fuel as the way of the future. We are of course talking about BMW, and they have their sights set on hydrogen to power their next-gen lineup. BMW isn't the only automaker that has put its faith in hydrogen-powered vehicles. As you might already know, Toyota has been experimenting with this tech for nearly a decade, even as a hydrogen-powered passenger on sale right now with the Mirai sedan. Similar to EVs, hydrogen-powered cars also produce zero emissions and take significantly less time to fill up. Once you fill up the tanks with hydrogen, it reacts with oxygen taken from the ambient air, producing electricity that drives the vehicle forward. The only byproducts of this reaction are heat and water, which is effectively healthier for the environment compared to a battery electric vehicle. BMW already has a few hydrogen-powered vehicles to call their own, and from them, we find the iX5 hydrogen concept the most interesting choice. Although it is not available for purchase just yet, the iX5 Hydrogen has proved that there is a future for this technology by offering 300 miles of range with a full tank of hydrogen, which equates for about 6 kilograms. Despite being powered by the most abundant gas from the atmosphere, the iX5 Hydrogen also has performance chops similar to that of an EV. Its electric motors can offer up to 401 horsepower, launching the SUV from a standstill to 60 miles per hour in under 6 seconds. BMW also claims that this ride is just as agile as the rest of their lineup, something we couldn't say about Mercedes and their EV ventures. So what does the future hold for Mercedes now that they have given up on EV production? While changing the negative public perception of electric cars on the minds of the general public is understandably out of the company's reach, we believe there is still time to gain their lost reputation back. Toyota and BMW have proven that a balanced strategy that incorporates electric vehicles alongside other sustainable technologies is the way to go. And considering Mercedes' past, we don't think it's something they wouldn't be able to achieve. The German automaker has finally understood that there is no point shoving money down the drain by chasing after an all-electric lineup. Instead, they are now pivoting towards offering more high-performance, fuel-efficient hybrid options like the new C63 Hybrid, which has been well received by the public. Having a few EV models in your lineup is great. We're all for giving buyers more choice, but banking your company's entire future on this still unproven technology? That ain't it, Chief. Mercedes is far from the only automaker that has given up on electric cars, and we've just made a video on another massive automaker second-guessing their bit to go all-electric. Hit like and subscribe if you want to know all about it, and stick around for the best automotive content on the platform.